All right. Yeah, so last week we stopped at the FAQ section, right? Yeah. So, and we say what we have left is, I believe, the footer section is what we have left. So this part is what we have left. So we're just going to try and complete it today. Yeah, so this is where we stopped last, um, the last 2 weeks. So let's continue from there and see how far we can go. So I'm just going to create another section and I'm going to like give it a class of footer. So let's look at the way it looks here. So for this one we have like this call text, and then we also have this FAQs. I mean the footer section that is in 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have this drop down at the bottom of it. So what we can do is that we can create the um, the code section here. So let's just create this span and then say questions. So let's say questions, call, oh, orange. Oh, I think I changed the drop down button. So okay, so here we have this number. So let's just copy it, call this number, and then um we can create an ordered list for the first part section, which is this one, this one, this one, this one. So you can group them by different unordered lists. So the first one is the FAQ investor relation by gift card. So let's say FAQ. So I just copy it. Okay, so this is the first one. Then we can just copy this and paste this, and then use it for the second one, which is this absent jobs. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this one. We're gonna bother changing the text. So we can just focus on the CSS. So this is the first, second, third, and fourth column. So after that, we also have this at the bottom of it. Okay, let's even see what we have before we continue that. Okay, yeah, so we have all this. Um, we also have the language section. We already have we did something like this I thought previously. Yeah, over here. So we can just, yeah, okay. So okay, but in this case we don't have a sign in like this. So I'm just gonna remove that. And I can also change this to another verb to language. And also this one I can give the class of call so that I can style it. So that means let's save this. Okay, yeah, so we have this over here. So now we can also start styling it. See, so the first one we have over here is the footer class. So let's copy it over. And then for this footer, let me give it between these two boxes. So I'm just gonna give it some margin top. Let's give it 10 and then also I'll give it some margin bottom so that we there's some space at the bottom. And give it 2 and I'm also going to the color is white over here. The color is kind of like gray. So I'm just gonna change the color. Yeah, so the color is now good. Let me increase let me increase this to, let's say, 4, let me decrease this to like 7. Yeah, I think that's better. Um, let's see the margin left. Yeah, we can give some margin left. Oh, sorry, yeah, I think we were using 19 line over here. Yeah, so let's do it. I think Also for this UL that is on ordered list, I'm going to remove all this style that is beside it. So I'm just going to remove them. So let me just have it down here. Say UL. Yeah, so they are gone. Also, I'm going to give this some font size. So the UL and the list. So I'm going to give it font size of, let's say, 1.2. And then I'm also going to give it some, let's see, okay. So I'm going to give it some padding. So let's give it, sorry, my bad. This is the, okay, but we also have padding to the left, which make this one not aligned anymore. So we remove the padding left. I'm just gonna give it padding left of 0 over here. So that we knows that, okay, yeah. So we are going to have, I'm going to give you some more padding. We are going to have the padding top, bottom and right. So we're going to include this padding. Let me give it one. Okay, I think that might be okay. Okay, so let me give it some letter spacing. Just just a little bit. And also this call, you see that it's still very small. So I'm going to also give it, um, let me put it right here. I'm going to increase the font size. Let's give it, it's a very big, just like it. Yeah, so it's kind of bigger. Okay, comes together. So after this, we can then make this appear in a grid format. Like I say, we have 4 columns here, so I can make it in a grid format. So in this footer, we can change the display to grid. So the grid templates columns we're going to use. So we're just going to use like we have 4 columns, and then we're going to give it the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have some space over here which it does not matter. So we're also going to do something similar. So let's see if we can have, let's repeat it for 4 columns. but we're going to have it for let's see 15 line. So let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but then we want this one to, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this one moves to the, okay, so we want this one to take the over, the first over, so that we, this one just like this. This one is taking the over, then we have this. I don't know it. So um okay, and secondly, this is too small, kind of too small compared to this one, so we can make it a little bit bigger. Let's give it. Okay, so for this one, we want the grid column to take over the 4 columns, so we can have it grid columns. Then we can have this one maybe. So the grid column starts, the grid column end. So it's just going to take over the particular 4 columns. Yeah, so we have this, but it's also to kind of closer to this compared to this. We have some space over here, so we can just give it some padding bottom or something just to get that out of the way. So I'm just going to say padding bottom. You can give it 2 Let's see what we have. Let's include it a little bit. Let's increase it to 3. Okay. Let's see it for seems not so much difference. Okay. So by default we already even have all of these in, so in 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have this one taking over the fourth space. Yeah, which is similar to this, but the padding bottom is still kind of not enough. So I guess let's just increase it. Where did we have it previously? You know, we have margin bottom over here. So let me just give it 7 where, yeah, okay, maybe that's enough. So what else do we need here? Okay, here we have this as an underline. So one thing we can do is that we can just maybe give it a span and then the text decoration should be underlined. But let me let's see what we get for this one. For the UL, the list also, they are all underlined. So let's give it some text decoration. Underline. So you can see all these ones too are now underlined. Also, yeah, like I said, for this one also you can do similar thing, but we can just leave this one. Doesn't matter. So, but that's just the way the underline just for this one, we've already done something similar, like I said at the top here, whereby we have this what we call the icon showing beside it. So what we're just going to do is that we're going to copy the CSS style of it and try to make it look like that. So let's just okay. Also, for that there should be some margin between them. So I'm just increase that margin. I gave it a class of language. So let's just do that over here. So just give it some margin. Let's give it okay. Okay, so let's now go to the one we did previously. So we just need to copy it and modify it so that way we don't have to write the same thing. So this is it over here. Just copy it. Another thing, just because we might have something different from it, I would have said let me just have a comma and then just have the comma dot language select. But in case we have something different that we need to change it, so let me just copy this one and paste it in. Okay, so let's leave it like this and just see the way it's going to look before we edge. Oh, it almost looks okay. I think it looks okay. Just maybe this might be like the text might be smaller, but I think we I don't really think we won't really need to change about anything here. So let's just instead of doing that, let me just copy this one. So I'm just going to delete this. And I'm just going to have it here. Yep. So that way we'd have to repeat it twice. Yeah, since we are going to have the same thing here. Okay, so I think, yeah, that's what we have. One thing that I wanted to also mention about is that although we didn't really talk about it, but just wanted to make mention of it. So in CSS, okay, let me ask, so far, do you have any question before I digress?
No, not.
Okay, so in website designing, you realize that on when you're browsing some websites, when you open a page, let's say on a laptop, the way the website is going to appear might be a little bit different from the way it's going to appear on your phone. So, like for example, if you open Netflix now, let's say this one, you can see this is on like one straight one row. This is on maybe one row. This is on one row. This is on one row. If you let's for example, just an example, you open it on maybe let's see the way this one is going to look on mobile. Let me see it. So let's use iPhone 12. Think let's try it from this first. Exactly. So now, do you see now that the way it appears on the phone, the font size is different. The way the closeness of this, their difference, the space between them are different. So this is exactly what I'm trying to say. And this one, the text are on top of each other instead of being on just a single row. So all these kind of changes, as you can see, the difference is always going to appear on phone. And this one you can see it's no longer in four, rather it's just on one column and everything is just down straight downward. So this is different on the way it looks on mobile. If you check on let's say an iPad also, let's see which one we should choose. Let's choose this iPad here. If you look at this also, you can see this one is now back to the like the font size is different, but the both text and the image are on the roll. So you can see all these things are different the way they appear on different devices. So um, the way to go about this is that let me remove this. Let's say, for example, if you minimize the page without handling all these things, your page is not going to look good. The page of the website is going to look good. So most of the time, you have to handle it from the CSS. That's what most of these firms always do. So you write the code for the desktop, and then you write the code for the um, iPad and also for other device screen size. So the way they mostly do it is by screen size. So, like for example, if you look at this one, we didn't really have anything handled. So it's not going to look good, even if we are on, because it's going to be taking the default value that we already created for it. So it's just going to, you know, not look very, very pretty unless we have to handle all these things by ourselves. Okay, we're not going to like handle it, but I'm just going to explain how it is being the idea behind it. So now let's say, let me go back to this page. Okay, so if we have a screen size of whatever screen size you want to focus on, so you're just going to have the art media screen, and then you have and then you're just going to have your screen size, the maximum width. So let's say maximum width of 1300 pixel. Then inside of it, that is where you will now, for this screen size, you're now going to undo the CSS inside of these curly brackets. So for example, let's say we have this header top, and we want to change or let's say we have this header content, we have an H1 inside of it. So this H1, we want to change the font size when the size of the screen has a maximum width of 1300 pixels. So what we can do is that we can now say that the header content, and then I can say H1, and I can now say the font size. Let's see what was the font size that it has previously. Okay, this one has 5 of them. So okay, fine. So let's increase it to something very big, something like that one. So if I refresh this, let me inspect it, or let me, okay. So now let's start decreasing this. Then you see that once we get to the maximum width below, yeah, so now the font size has changed from 5 pixel to 30 pixel. But let's inspect this so that let's use the responsive. Okay, yeah, so in this case now we have 1600. Yeah, so this one we have 1600 as the width of the screen. If we still have 1500, we are still good. If we have 1300, now we've already hit the maximum. So from 1300 below, we are going to be having this text changed to 30 OM. So if we have 1300, let's say, and 1 pixel, you still need to have your normal 5 frame. So what I'm just trying to point out here is that for us to like have different, for us to place this element differently according to the screen size, we have to decide the screen size here. You can have multiple sizes. Let's say, for example, you want another one, you can still have another screen size at the bottom of this and give it whatever. Let's say this one is for 1008. So we can also define different values on different classes for this particular screen size, how we want it to display. So let's say, for example, we want something to live from, let's say, a grid. We want it from grid column, we want it to be like in a row, or maybe from display of grid, we want it to be a display of flex. So all these things, we can create a specific screen size for it, and then we change that particular property to fit how we want that screen size to look like. So in the case of this, say for example, when we are on, let's say, a phone, yeah, so we want these images here, instead of having it in 2 columns, we want to have it in 1 column. So we can specify the grid properties and just make it just in a single column, to appear in a single column instead of in 2 columns. And if you also look at, see the yeah, CSS also over here, you can see they specify it here. They have the art media screen and the minimum width of 19,200 pixels. So from 19,020 pixels, 1920 pixel above, this is going to apply to it. So you can see they also have different art media query here. So this media query is what you use to control how you want your elements, how they are going to display on different screen sizes. Oh, do you get what I mean?
So yes, I understand the point.
Yeah, so basically, so what if we're going to do that? So we're just going to have to go through this whole most of, maybe not all, but most of this property that we already have here that we've already written. So we just modify each of them and then try to, so basically what most people do is that they start from like the biggest screen. Yeah, let's say we're going to start from the biggest screen. Let's put it this way. So this is, let's say this is the biggest coin. Then we are going to start breaking it down bit by bit. Although there are different like sizes that are common screen sizes that most people use. So we can also use that one, but sometimes also you can also do this one. You just decrease the screen sizes and then watch when the elements are going to break. So that's the point where you are going to have your media query break property. So you can see from here, we are still dealing with this is for the header. So you can see that it still looks good, even though we've been decreasing the screen for a long time here. The header is still looking good. So from here, okay, no, maybe not, because we already have this guy over here, but let me just remove it. Yeah, so we still have the header looking good. Although some part of the body might not be looking good, but for now we're just focusing on the header. So we can say this is still looking good, this is still looking good, this is still maybe okay, maybe from here, or maybe from here we can start looking at this header, the logo and the drop down and the sign in button. From here we can decide that okay, we want this to be at the top left and we want this to be at the top right. So we can, we can just specify that with, if we look at the inspect, see, I click on this toggle. Let's maximize it and let's give it. Okay, so this is for 1003. Yeah, for 1150, we still good. Yeah, maybe from here we can get that, okay, this is the breakpoint that we want to use. Then we can now say that, oh, once we get to this 10,000 pixel, or what is it, 1,000? Okay, sorry, this 1,000 pixel width, then we want this property, we want to change the logo property and set it to, maybe this one should be at the left and then this two should be at the right. So we can do all these things by using the property and then modifying that same class name and the elements. You just modify the property and then you're just going to have your screen looks like the way you want it to do. Well, yeah, that's just the idea. Okay, so that is where we are going to stop for this CSS class. But one thing I want to recommend maybe if you have more time after you maybe practice on what we've done so far, and you want to like maybe go much deeper on stuff like this, for example, this media query stuff. So you can, if you want to, you can take this advanced CSS class. This class, yeah, it's called Advanced CSS and SAS. It includes Flexbox, Grid, and animation and more. It's a very good course if you can also take it. But although right now I think it's 120, $130, but one thing you can do is just wait for some weeks. They are going to reduce it to maybe 15 or $13 because they mostly do promos weekly very often. So you can get it for maybe $15 or there. Yeah, it's a very good class. Talks about the more about Flexbox, grid, and also it talks about animation and also talks about how to use the very detail about how to use the media query property. So you can take it if you like, and you can also look at the preview of the course before you buy it. So I think if do you have any question? If not,
Yeah, I
we can
think
stop the
the question I have is that so this media, so if you want to display it on maybe Samsung phone, iPhone, iPad, and so on, do you have to like define the property for each device, or you just give it only
no,
one definition?
no. It's just the screen size. You don't need the device at all.
Okay.
What you just deal with is the screen size. So once you deal with the screen size, it's just going to go with the flow with other devices. It doesn't really depend on the device, just the screen size.
Oh, okay, okay. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, no problem. So like I said, if you want to go deeper, you can try this advanced CSS class. It's kind of discuss. Let me stop the recording.